This is the Parental Alienation Speaks podcast. I'm Cheryl Mefford. Research shows that both mothers and fathers alienate. The examples shared in this video are specific to our situation. In a previous video, I listed the 17 alienation tactics that are used in child custody. Those 17 tactics have been put into 5 categories. Erasing memories came in the form of rituals in our situation. Those rituals were used to strip the relationship and memories the kids had with their dad, and then those memories were replaced with lies. In the book Divorce Poison by Dr. Warshak, he writes, "Isolation achieves physical separation, but brainwashing also requires breaking symbolic and emotional connections. This is accomplished through a process that cult scholars call stripping. Sometimes the stripping process is quite literal. One mother met her little boy on the doorstep whenever he returned from his father. Each time she went through the same ritual. She took off all of his clothes, then she placed them in a green plastic bag, which she left on the front porch. When there were leftovers from the lunch his father had packed, those two would go in the sack with the clothes. By the time the father received the bag several days later, the food was rotten and the clothes stank. Through this ritual, her son learned that anything associated with his father was unwelcome to his mother's house." Here's a couple rituals that we know about. Ritual number 1. One night, after watching a movie with the kids, they, seemingly in unison, got up off the couch and started reenacting something that they had been taught. We watched in silence as they moved around what appeared to be, to them on the floor, fire, and they did chants around this. When we asked what they were doing, they told us that their mother had been having burning parties with them. They said she takes anything from the house that Dad has a connection to, she sets it on fire in the backyard, and has us do chants around it. The second ritual I personally saw the alienator do with the kids multiple times. Anytime the kids would leave our home and she would be picking them up from our home, or they would be getting out of our vehicle into her vehicle, she would stop the kids before entering her vehicle. She would have them put everything down, their backpacks, their books, whatever it was. They would have to put it down on the floor, on the ground. And then she would instruct them how to brush off the evil. And she would do it with them. They would go down both arms, their chest, their legs, their feet, their hands. They'd get it out of their hair. And she did this with them over and over again. The kids constantly told us in-depth stories about places they'd never been and experiences they'd never had. It was more than just playful thoughts. It was like they had been told a story over and over again with many details. One day we were sitting at breakfast and Liam started talking about when he was breastfed. He said when he would get done feeding, he would make this certain noise, and then he made that noise. The other 2 kids laughed along, and I didn't know if it was true or not because I wasn't there. I looked over at Jack and saw all of the blood draining from his head. He quickly disappeared and reappeared with this picture. He put it down on the bar, and he looked at me and said, "None of the kids were breastfed." If you found this information helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel, and go to ParentalAlienationSpeaks.com to learn more about our story. I'm Cheryl Mefford, and I'm fighting for childhoods.